Friday. Thank you, Byron.
We're still in Emerald City.
Yes, we are. I love it. I want to live here. St. Patrick's Day is a celebration of Irish culture, and that is why our next guest is sharing some Irish history that you can find right here in our New York.
Joining us once again is John Freya, the creator of Here in New York on TikTok and the Gram, shouting us out last night on the Gram.
Yes, you know, well, you guys asked for desserts or snacks last night, and I didn't bring.
Yes.
It was very disappointing.
So this time I kind of did it double.
Yeah. No,
brought some Irish soda bread, green and white cookies. I didn't bake this.
He made it, John, because he spoiled us during Christmas time.
He did with the cookies.
And now you have really made up for it. You've got an Irish soda bread, which you did not bake. And by the way, the two of you, stop acting nice on television. They were both complaining about how they don't like raisins, they don't like caraway. I like dried fruit.
Oh, is that the bus that I just did?
Exactly.
Gotta go. Okay.
And a green and white cookie instead of a black and white cookie.
Yeah.
Go figure. All right, so you are the historian.
It's delicious, by the way.
I only know one little piece of Irish history, and I wonder if it's in the list.
It is not in the list. But
You
I know
ready now? You know what I'm going to talk about.
Because you watched Somebody Still See the Makeup Minute, the show before the show.
Right. So let's start. No, I'm giving you time. I'm going to talk while you chew.
Okay, we're good.
New York is vast. Let's start at the very tip.
Yes, kind of like the Boogie Down Bronx.
Yes.
I will just throw this out there before we get to what I was going to talk about. Woodlawn has a very big Irish community, and there's a strip of pubs and stores and businesses that's known as the Emerald Mile.
Oh, hello.
City.
There, it all makes sense.
We included it. All right, thank you very much.
But let's, from the top, go all the way downtown to where you can find actually a piece of Ireland in Manhattan. It is actually the Irish Hunger Memorial, and it was built in 2001, and it honors the more than 1 million people that died during the Great Famine in Ireland from 1845 to 1852. And also during that time, that is when nearly 900,000 people came to New York to start a new life.
Ireland.
And by 1855, Irish-born Americans made up a third of New York's population.
No kidding.
And this memorial actually is made up of stones, soil, and native vegetation from the west coast of Ireland. And there are stones from every single Irish county.
No way.
Get out of town.
Where?
This is in Battery Park?
Battery Park, North End Avenue, and Vesey Street. I posted this on Instagram, and I was actually really surprised to find out how many people don't know that.
How did I not
there.
see this? I've been down there a million and one times. I just can't, I don't know how I missed something like that. And there's Freedom Tower right
It is
behind
really
us.
peaceful to walk through, and as you go through that tunnel, you'll hear stories from people that came to New York and what their troubles and tribulations were.
Oh,
I love that.
So,
that is fascinating.
Steeped in history.
Yes, and then, you know, as a lot of Irish immigrants came to New York, they had to settle somewhere.
Right.
And many of them, as other different nationalities, settled in tenements throughout the city, particularly 5 Points, but there's also the Tenement Museum on the Lower East Side, which honors one of the Irish families that lived in the museum. And this is a recreation of Bridget and Joseph Moore's tenement when they lived here back in 1869.
Wow.
And you could tour it. Their actual tenement is under a restoration project that will open up in the summer.
Okay.
But right now, they do limited tours that you can kind of learn about the Irish family that lived there.
No kidding. Wow.
And this is where on the Lower East Side?
It is
off of Orchard Street?
Orchard Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is actually really cool to check out.
Huh.
Now, from downtown, we're going to kind of scooch up to Times Square.
This neck of the woods.
Okay.
Yes, this neck of the woods. We all know the Red Steps and the TKTS booth.
Yes.
Okay, that is actually in Father Duffy Square.
I love Duffy Square.
So, do you know who Father Francis Duffy was?
I only know that before the TKTS booth was the TKTS booth, we used to say, let's go to Duffy Square and get cheap tickets to a Broadway show.
So, Father Francis Duffy was one of the most famous priests at the Church of the Holy Cross, which is on 42nd Street. But before that, he fought in the Spanish-American War, and he was the chaplain of the 69th Regiment Armory, which is known as the Fighting Irish. They're marching in the parade today. They're called the Fighting Irish because they were mainly made up of first and second generation Irish Americans.
No kidding.
And the reason why he was such a big part of Times Square, that is him.
Okay, there he is in all his glory.
It's because he befriended a lot of actors on Broadway and he helped raise awareness of the poverty that a lot of the Irish immigrants were facing when they lived in Hell's Kitchen. Because Hell's Kitchen was a huge Irish community.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I don't even have the words.
Yeah.
I'm speechless, truly.
Well, you know, maybe you can go wash down
Wash-
get like a
yeah.
pub. I don't know. Go to a pub. Or
Go to a pub and wash down this Irish soda bread.
Can I get a Guinness?
Because you just mentioned.
a bar in Hell's Kitchen that.
Now we're speaking my
You
language.
ever heard of Hellcat Annie's?
No.
Okay, so
Of course not.
It is on 10th Avenue.
I know nothing that you share with us. I'm taught something new every time you come in
truly
here.
We can
learn.
experience Hell's Kitchen together,
Okay.
and we'll, there's other bars that
They
we
have
can check
Irish
out.
coffee, apparently,
But
on the wall.
Hellcat Annie is named after two famous Irish mobsters. One is Hellcat Maggie.
Oh.
She was in the 5 Points area, and she was a fighter and was known to have her teeth filed down to sharp,
Like
shark
to
teeth.
bite people with.
shark
Yeah,
teeth.
yeah.
The other one is Battle Annie, and she was known as the Queen of Hell's Kitchen. Which is kind of, it's just funny now. She was known as the most feared brick hurler of her time, which I would not want to cross her path.
No.
But before this was Hellcat Annie, this was actually the White House Bar, and that was the headquarters of the Westies, which was one of the most notorious gangs in New York.
Our director Dave said that Hellcat, which one? One of them was a character in Gangs of New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so this was the White House Bar, and Mickey Spillane used to do his business, his dealings, in the back
Are
room.
you a regular? Unbelievable.
Yes. So, once you just walk around, there's a lot of Irish history in New York, which is really cool to stumble upon.
I love it.
Are you Irish at all yourself?
I have 3%. I did a
Somewhere
little
in
DNA
there.
test. I'm in there, but mostly Italian. But I will say my great-grandparents did live in Hell's Kitchen on 42nd Street, 44th Street, and 9th Avenue in a tenement
You
there.
see?
So
Holy moly.
there's some Irish roots there.
Yeah. One Manarino used to live in Hell's Kitchen.
That's right, he
way,
did.
way back in the day.
He sure did.
Thank you for upping our IQ as you always do.
We wanted to, can we, so these, obviously you said you did not make. Where did this come from?
So these came from Azzaro's, one of another New York institution.
Oh,
They've been around
yes.
for nearly a century. So this is obviously their Irish soda bread. They are known for their
black and white
and white
cookies, sure.
cookies. But,
I do know.
They made a little Irish change to it, did green and white, which I had one last night, which was really good.
Okay, I'm going to share with Marisol.
Thank you so much, John, for you.
As
Happy
always.
What's the next holiday?
I love learning
Well,
things from you.
I know baseball season is starting soon, and you're obviously a Mets fan. Or what? Yankees,
She likes the
Mets?
Yankees.
I
It's
like the
okay.
All right,
Yankees.
so maybe some Yankees Mets trivia and see.
Would love that.
See who can hit a home run.
Oh, you can follow him in all his glory on the gram, here_in_NY, or on TikTok
At here in NYC.
In NYC.
I love it.
Unbelievable.